All right, so here we go. So if you're worried about the future of the First Descendant, I have some very good news on that front. But as the community has finally really gotten into the end game, there's also noticeable problems cropping up. We're going to talk about those and what Nexon can do to really, solve those issues. Also, the most valuable void shard chart you'll find, and IGN gives the game a 5 out of 10. We've got to talk about it. You'll notice once again that my audio might be a little bit different. It's because I'm still here in California wrapping up things at Blizzard HQ. I did get the chance to play as the brand new Spiritborn class in Diablo 4. Look out for that footage soon. But yeah, let's get back into the First Descendant stuff right now. So yeah, some very big news from the official First Descendant social media page here. It says 10 million descendants. We've reached 10 million descendants in just 7 days. Thank you all for your tremendous support and love. It means everything to us. We'll do our best to bring you great experiences. Can't wait to continue this journey together. 10 million players, not too shabby in such a time frame. Some replies here. This is amazing. I've been having a great time. Let me know how you guys have been enjoying it overall up to this point. But some really critical feedback here says, okay, so according to my calculations, the total time farming divided by the average of 2 minutes per mission, it took 170 missions to get HP Collector to drop. That is going to make a lot of people just quit the game. I would put in a bad luck protection. Do you guys, feel like you're about to quit the game or not? There's a weird ad there. It says, amazing game, well deserved. And then we have even more critical feedback. It says, could we please have an auto run feature or at least a way to toggle it on or off? I'm so used to it from other games. Now my thumb hurts clicking in the left stick all the time. It seems like a lot of people agree with that one. But more concerns about the microtransactions. Congrats. Also, please work on increasing the amount of calibers we get. 5K is just too low for $99. I think it'd be great to get at least 10K calibers in that bundle. Same with the rest. Please balance in-game currency. Couldn't agree more. If that would be nice if they were more generous on that front. They have run actually some sales, by the way, which has been interesting. I've missed out on reporting on those. I'll try to stay more tuned into that sort of thing for you guys. But it also says, can you please put something to your name once you hit level 40 more than once? Don't want people thinking I'm level 1 when in reality I hit 43 times. So I got to say, auto run would be really nice, but I've also heard you guys mention that you really, really want shoulder swap. I think it's probably up there as one of the most requested gameplay features and would help the game a lot, just having that shoulder swap. I know, being around cover and being able to swap that shoulder is extremely important in a third-person game. So hopefully Nexon can actually give us an idea if this is something they're interested in working on or not. They should have another dev chat update. I'll let you guys know when that happens. But yeah, hopefully we get new information about that one in the future. But over on the subreddit, there is definitely some concerns about cheating in the game. As you can see, first cheater spotted, and this is hilarious. It says, look at all these leeches just sitting there doing nothing while this hard-working individual carries. Yeah, this could actually become a big deal, but it says, imagine cheating in a game just to get banned anyway and lose all progress. How stupid are these people? I've heard many comments about this. Some comments saying, hey, it's no big deal. It's PvE anyway. How's it going to affect me? Well, believe me, it will affect you. If someone is standing there absolutely dominating, you don't even get the chance to use the actual gameplay mechanics or class skills. They're just going to wreck every single enemy around you without you giving any type of input into the battle and really utilizing your character. So for me personally, I really think, hey, drop the ban hammer on these cheaters. We've already seen that Nexon is not afraid to ban cheaters. So go for it, Nexon. If they're ruining the game experience, making it less of what we have enjoyed, then yeah, for sure, get rid of these players that are causing an environment that's just not fun. And check it out, as promised, the Void Shard chart. This is really extensive and should really help you farm those Void Shards for sure. I'll throw this link in the description below, but we do have some replies here. It says, honestly, I was running low on Void Shards, but it's easier to farm than anything else in the game. 2 people on Moongrave Basin can end a run in 20 to 30 seconds and get 3 to 4 of each. Just go there and farm for 30 minutes to 1 hour. Then you just need to farm whatever you use the most. Some folks, the First Descendant doesn't deserve a mixed rating on Steam. Currently at 53% positive reviews, up from an initial 49%, and improving by about 1% per day for the past 2 days. Currently, we have 52,000 reviews, at least 10K more than a few days ago. I believe this indicates incoming positive reviews of the game. This game isn't perfect, and it isn't for everyone. 53% is a massively harsh judgment on a game that so many people genuinely enjoy and cherish. Initially, we got review bombed. It didn't help any gamers. If anything, it's blocking access to a game someone might enjoy, but for a misplaced review. I've seen at least one other post asking for unity among the three prime player bases, Destiny 2, Warframe, and the First Descendant. Resolution of the Steam review issue could be a way towards unity with players of the games that inspired our devs to make the First Descendant. I honestly think, given the quality of this game, it deserves to stand beside its parents, forming an unholy trinity. And I should have made clear, I do think Nexon deserves to be punished for an overpriced cash shop, and have always felt as such. Yeah, it's been an interesting month for sure so far. You know, we had the First Descendant come out. It has seen very mixed ratings. And then, of course, Once Human, when that initially released, it was sitting at like 33% mixed rating. And then now it's sitting at 60%. So it might improve here for the First Descendant. I mean, hell, remember Cyberpunk 2077? It was sitting at like a very bad rating. Can't remember what it was, but now it's like mostly positive because of the changes they made over the years that game was out. So maybe give this one time, but overall, I don't think that this game will see like a 90% upvote rating whatsoever, just because of the price points and the microtransactions that are happening with this game. Some people just absolutely outright hate free-to-play systems and how they work, so I think it's going to stay that way. If you're enjoying the game and you're having a lot of fun, that's what matters the most, you know, to hell with what everyone else says or thinks. That's how I've always operated, and I say, you know, you do the same. And mentioning reviews, oh boy, here is IGN's review. Of course, they gave it a 5 out of 10. And it says, with so many live service games vying for your attention, the First Descendant feels like a focus group tested, unabashedly derivative shooter that wants to please everyone and is fated for mediocrity. As a result, it borrows tired ideas from better games, covers them in a thick layer of free-to-play annoyances, then pads the whole thing out with mind-numbingly boring and repetitive missions just in case you were still managing to have fun. That's unfortunate because underneath all that cheap wood and crumbling drywall is a really strong foundation with entertaining, gunplay and charismatic characters I'd like to get to know better. The First Descendant is by no means the first live-action game to come out of the oven half-baked, so there's always a chance updates will make it more palatable in the months and years to come, but it's off to an underwhelming start. I feel like it's off to a pretty decent start. You know, there's still quite a bit of content. I will say that some of the enemies do get repetitive for sure, but when it comes to the amount of actual descendants you could mess around with in the game out of the gates, that is pretty impressive. Of course, you do have to grind for them if you do want them for free, but you can also put down, what is it? I think it's like $5 for some of them and even more. But yeah, if you want to do that, that is always an option because you don't have to lay down like the full $70. Now, it is interesting, the whole discussion between like this being free to play or if it was just like a standard game where you put down the $70. Would you guys have preferred that where you, hey, I'm going to put down $70. I don't have to worry about microtransactions as much. I got to say that would have been nice, but you know, at least people have gotten the chance to hop into this and try it. We'll see how the microtransactions actually affect the game in the long term, but right now it has an amazing staying power so far, and Nexon really has been, very responsive to feedback, and they're not just like listening, they're doing things, actionable patches, which they've already done, and they plan to continue to do things. So yeah, that actually brings me to the point that, yeah, I think that this game might have a bright future. And they wrap up their review saying the First Descendant has all the building blocks of a fantastic looter shooter, but they've buried it under a pile of monotonous quests, a terrible story, and an infuriating free-to-play model that has influenced its game design in the worst way possible. It's interesting they mentioned the story because I've heard you guys, for the most part, pretty much skip the story overall. I'm scrolling down here so we can get to some of these top comments because there's someone that actually said something here. It says, harsh. I'd place it at a 7. No loot boxes or need to engage with the microtransactions at all, So it's got that going for it. Story is convoluted, but at least there is a narrative and cutscenes to help build the world. It's a free game. It's around 40-ish hours if only doing the main campaign, which is decent. In-game content I could see being an issue, much like its contemporaries. And a reply here, it's a boring grind fest, and these are the types of devs that think more optional microtransactions mean more grinding. Next time, don't make a live service game. Nothing about this genre is fun. Woo, shots fired. So yeah, let me know what you guys would rate the First Descendant right now. I do agree with a 7 out of 10. I think that's a pretty decent rating for this game. Currently, they can improve it even more, but when you get into the end game, it gets super grindy. They need to do things differently there, and the price points of many of these items are just ridiculous. So adjusting those, I think, is critical. And, you know, like I mentioned previously, they have done some interesting things with cells, so it seems like they're trying to see what they could do there on that front, but it would be nice if they can kind of advertise those sales, let us know when those are going to be happening, because they've even done it for like the you know, Ultimate Bunny and that sort of thing. It's just very short and just disappears from the storefront pretty quickly. So yeah, we'll see what they do, see if they adjust things, see if they do sales. We'll see. And it's time to go over your top comments. As always, leave a comment down below. I love reading them. So we have this one right here. It says, can we just paint the normal skins, please, next on? Also, it says, I like when stronger descendants are in my group, especially if I'm trying to farm an operation. It goes way faster and inspires me to keep playing to eventually make a build just, let me expand that, just as strong as their descendant. And we have a reply on that one. Yeah, exactly. I remember playing Warframe and encountering my first Hydroid player. That was my first big what the F moment in that game, with many more to come. LOL, definitely inspired me to play more. So it seems like you guys kind of want some Warframe features, I guess you would say, in the First Descendant. Now it says, Bunny does not need a nerf. They need to raise the other descendants up to her level, make area attacks bigger, cooldown shorter, less MP, enhance them, etc. This game literally tells you to become overpowered. That's the entire purpose of it. That's the fantasy, right? So they cannot nerf things. They need to, like you said, buff things. Now it says, as a Freyna player, I usually enjoy the free ride with a bunny before melting the boss for them. Makes farming missions fast and easy on my way to start farming Glay. So a lot of you guys actually like Bunny. You don't want anything to change with her. I was shocked to see that post where they were actually like annoyed with her personality and absolutely everything about her. So yeah, it seems like the majority of the community loves Bunny. Now, it says Bunny doesn't need a nerf the same way Glay doesn't. Even the dev said it's intended. Anyone who hates people trying to speed farm can always switch to solo and private. The grind is already rough, and having characters who make it easy shouldn't be nerfed, but instead buff the enemy. Oh, so that's another take, is like buffing the enemy. But if you do that, you got to be careful as well. I say, if anything, they might have to buff the descendants first, and then I get where you're coming from. Then they would have to make adjustments, perhaps, to the AI. Okay, so far this has been an interesting one to cover. You know, 10 million players in 7 days is not too shabby at all. It gets me kind of excited for the future of this one, because that means the more than likely, is the dev team is at a high morale right now, and they want to actually make a good game. They want to work hard and make new content. So that's what that tells me for the future of the game. So we'll see what happens. Stay tuned here for more First Descendant. I have you guys covered, and I will see you all next time. Take care.